very happy with our producer on that one. So, very briefly, Anello and David, by the way, that Julie was talking about, were the most famous makers of ballet shoes. They were in St. Martin's. Yeah, they were, and they used to make lots of shoes. They were terribly famous. Are they still going, do you think? They are. They are. They're good. They're great. Anello and David, the most famous. Paulie and I met on Killers, the Steiny Morrison case, which I think I mentioned to you before. You're going to know the story because I've written it up in that book, Forever Avon, because it is my most personal memory of Paul. We became great friends right away on Killers, the Steiny Morrison case, and we both were movie buffs. We used to ask each other's questions on films. We did it all the way through Greif and all the way through our friendship, which lasted until he passed. So sometime in the early 80s, I think, when we'd done Blake 7, or I had, and we were still good friends, I got a telephone call from him saying, Greify, I'm just in Kensington, passing Kensington, on my way home to Janet, his lady wife, Janet Lees Price, in Guildford, I think he lived. Can I pop in and have a quick chat? I said, come on, come on. And I lived in Kensington at that time. Actually, it must have been pre-1980, because I got married in 1980, so let's say it was 1979. And come on, Paulie, come and have a drink. So he came up in his little blue Mini, and he stayed, was supposed to stay for half an hour, and he stayed for 2 hours, of course, because we had a lot to talk about, and we were very good mates, and I adored him. And as you all know, I wouldn't have been in Blake 7 if it hadn't been for Paul. He was the architect of it, and I wouldn't be at conventions like this if it hadn't been for Paul, because he bullied me into doing it. What is the matter with you, Stephen? They're wonderful. Everybody wins. And eventually I went to Chicago, and I realized exactly what he'd been talking about, and I'm just sorry that I missed the ones that I've been too pig-headed and stubborn and up my bum to go to. So I have much to be grateful to Paul. So here's the little remembrance of Paul that that many of you may not know, but you will if you've read the book Forever Avon. When he finally said, listen, I better go up because Janet's going to kill me, I'm late already, I went down with him, and it was dark by then, and he suddenly became very alarmed, and he said, Greify, somebody's stolen my car. And I said, no, Paul, that doesn't happen here. It was a little street off Kensington High Street, and there weren't. People didn't do it. And he said, no, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. And he became very emotional. I mean, on the verge of tears. There may have been 1 or 2 tears. Something I had never detected in Paul before. The real underside of him appeared on the surface. And I said, now, darling, hang on, calm down. We're going to find your car. We are. It's probably somewhere else. So we walked down the terrace, and there was his little blue Mini. He'd forgotten where he parked. His mood was renversé in a moment, from tears and panic. He threw his arms around me, kissed me all over my cheeks, and I said, there you are, you see. And I sent him off a happy man. But I thought, this is a side of him I've never seen before. I never saw it again, I have to say.
Didn't lose the Mini again?
I don't know about the Mini. He was in love with that Mini. He loved it dearly. One quick thing before I hand you over to Sal is that in his book, which I reread prior to coming here, he talks about smoking and how he had a light voice when he became an actor, and by smoking he developed, you know, that darker kind of Richard Burton type voice that Paul loved to use, and a wonderful voice it was, and he used it beautifully. And I thought, what a shame it was that perhaps he kept smoking, because he felt that his voice would lighten up again if he stopped smoking, which of course is absolute nonsense for most people. A disc jockey called Tommy Vance, who had a very deep voice like this on radio, and when he stopped smoking, as he was asked to do, he suddenly went up here. So I just wish Paulie may have stopped that habit earlier, because he'd still be with us. But he's not, and we all send our love to him. I love him dearly, and we're all thinking of you. Paulie Darrow. Thank you very much.